Brutally honest with Sam and Jacob. Rudy came today. By the way, the bottom of
That
our
sounds
feet.
weird.
Do you have anything you want to confess with us?
I think I wish I had more things I've not confessed.
So this kid had a football signed by Peyton Manning. I took the football and let my two Jack Russells play and destroy it as I recorded it and sent it to the kid.
I genuinely don't know how to talk dirty. Once again... Did I just reveal my confession?
Welcome to Brutally Honest with Sam and Jacob. I'm Sam.
And I'm Jacob.
And today we're joined by a very special person to us. The person who was basically our wingman at the beginning of us.
That's true. I forgot about that.
Rudy Martinez. What he does not want you to know is that he bakes cakes and was the winner of the Food Network Halloween Baking Championship.
He's gonna leave.
He is going to leave.
Okay, well, so the rules today were that we didn't take any photo shoots, which we didn't do any photo shoots of you.
I mean, this is kind of an extended photo shoot.
This is a long photo
is what
shoot.
this basically is.
This is a moving photo shoot.
Can you cuss in this?
Yes, you
Okay,
can say
good.
whatever you want.
Fuck off.
So Rudy played Tevye in our Fiddler on the Roof that we met in. Jacob played Perchik. I played Frumacera. And that was just a grand old time.
Mm-hmm.
What is your first memory of meeting us?
Well, you actually, back in the days of Facebook, I think you and I connected that way first.
I sent you a friend request?
Yes. And I was like,
Probably.
oh, that's great. I love this. This person is friendly. So then I remember you coming down the stairs of the theater, like the sides of the aisle or whatever. That's remember first seeing you. I don't really have a strong recollection of him that first day.
What was the first time that we corralled you to hang out with us?
You guys corralled me too. Well, we had talked backstage because I knew there's something going on in that guy's head. So we had talked about some stuff and joked about nonsense or whatever. And then I think we were on a lunch break or something, and you guys said, "Hey, we've got to go to this place. I know you've talked about the Yellow Deli for this green bar or something." We went down there. They were closed. They were having like a street fair type thing, and they were selling stuff. We came back to the theater. We were running late, and I was like super concerned that we were going to be late. That was the first.
Yeah.
That was the first date. But that was also when you talked about Bernardo.
Oh, yes.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes.
For anyone who doesn't know, Samantha's first boyfriend, or first real
My high
steady,
school
first
boyfriend.
steady, was shanked.
He literally, like West Side Story, he was stabbed in the lungs and he survived, unlike the Bernardo in West Side Story, but later did pass away. Did perish. And I think that Rudy were you just shocked to know that I had a
thought this
gangster
is, I mean,
past?
I think I've told you this. Honestly, I remember telling you that you reminded me of, in fact, Michelle Siobhan Roy, who's, I'm sure, not watching this. I had never met anyone else like that, and you were like that. Yeah, and I just remember thinking, first of all, I thought, why are these two asking me out to lunch? But I remember having a good time and like really good conversation and basically just doing what we still do to this day, which is a search for food and conversation.
Exactly. And probably making way too many inappropriate jokes, but
Yeah, I mean,
knowing each other's hearts.
I just connected with you guys, and like I said, I was not living in the space that I normally lived in. I was not in my home state. I was doing theater for the first time in 7 years and didn't really know anyone.
And we were all being housed on this resort, by the way. So
A plug for the
resort.
for the resort.
I guess so.
The fabulous Lawrence Welk Resort, which is now just called Welk Resorts.
Yeah.
It's called
Yeah.
Walk Resorts.
But we all were three of the people who were actually living on the premise. I mean, there were a couple more, but
Yeah.
we don't need to talk about them.
Yeah, and we just connected, and you guys are smart and funny, and that's just. And then the second date happened.
What
That
was
was
the second date?
That was the Yellow Deli.
the Sabbath.
Oh,
Sabbath.
the Sabbath.
Yeah.
But now here's the thing. I think
And after that, I was in. I mean, literally,
that was
I
the
was
rite
in.
of
Yes.
passage.
so. If you
yeah.
listened to our Yellow Deli episode, one of the friends that we brought with us was Rudy.
Yes.
And we failed to mention on that episode that Rudy was also. We're not allowed to say it.
What if I
Earlier-
want to run for president?
Earlier today, you were like, I can't believe you didn't mention that about.
Yeah, they got
okay.
me high.
Okay, yeah.
For the first time in
7 years.
In 7 years. Yeah.
So, and I
And
wasn't
this was
pleased
a
with it at
daily
the time.
occurrence for me, so I was used to that. But
Yeah.
What I'm sure anyone who's watching this is like, we've talked about this before, and it's like, I knew you guys. This relationship, it has been going on for years.
Yeah.
This friendship that started out as a friendship is going on for years. This relationship has been going on for years, and it's funny to me because, we've talked about this, is to see people that don't know you, but they think because they've seen your life. I mean, your part of your life is on, display, but it's also not the other part of your life, which I know.
Right.
You know?
Right.
Right.
So at first I was like, I am not going to read these things because these people don't know who these people are.
yeah.
Right.
But in a way they do, because they've been following along. And I mean, there's people I follow online that I think, oh my, this food blogger, whatever. Oh, he's in LA right now, or oh, he's whatever. And so these things about these people and you feel like you know them.
Yeah.
But I was like, it's not fake. This is not for money. This is not like any of that stuff. I'm not being paid for this.
Right.
And I remember, like, I've always said two things to you guys. I always remember when both of you came to me and were like, and I just sort of assumed that you had maybe been sleeping together because you had been sleeping together in the same
In the same
villa,
room,
in the same room.
villa,
Yeah,
in
we
the
had
same-
sleepovers.
Yes, and also it was none of my business, so I never asked. But I just assumed, and I thought, oh, that's great, good for them. And when you and I were talking, and you had already talked to me about, you're like, I really have feelings for Jacob, but I don't know. I don't want to ruin the friendship. I don't want, I don't want to lose what we have already.
I think I was in an Albertsons parking lot when I was having this conversation.
Maybe, but we, of course, were at a Frida Kahlo,
Oh yes. Oh my god.
a Frida Kahlo festival or something in downtown LA, and we were going to meet her later, I think.
Yep.
And oh no, we were meeting Dana to go see the.
Oh, that's
yeah, she
right.
wasn't involved.
That's right.
And you were kind of telling me the same thing,
Yeah.
not knowing that she had already had this conversation with me.
Ooh.
And I will never forget just looking at you and saying, "What are you waiting for?" I
Right.
remember this exactly.
Yeah.
I said, "You have the person in front of you." I said, "It's your best friend, someone that supports you. You guys love doing things together. You love." Sharing things together, all this stuff. I said, unless there is something else you are looking for, you already have that person
Yeah.
right in front of you.
Yeah.
And then I remember a few days later, her texting me, being like, we slept together. So it's true.
It's true, and I
And
feel like
honestly, fast forwarding all these years, it's like I couldn't be happier because, like I said, and I can't imagine the somebody else that would have come into either of your lives that would have changed what you already had.
Yeah.
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 I just can't imagine that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was just like a written in the stars thing. It was just right there in front of us.
And it's cool that you saw the beginnings of it all.
Yes.
And I remember some of my favorite, for sure my favorite nights during that contract would be Thursday nights, because we didn't have any shows on Friday. This is this weird thing at this theater. No Friday shows, which is very uncommon for any theater.
Yeah.
Because Friday's a big selling night, date night, And so on Thursday nights, we would do a Thirsty Thursday at Rudy's Villa, always. And Rudy would always make some sort of concoction drink, and then there would be an accompanying bite of some sort.
Usually.
And it would be the three of us, and we would just have the best time ever. But then some people would get wind of this and try to invite themselves over, and we're like, no, we don't want these people over. Unless it was a friend of ours who was seeing the show, then we would also continue it on another night. I think actually we did eventually just start doing it Thursdays and Saturdays as well. But that was one of my like the favorite moments, just the three of us just hanging out in the villa.
3 blind mice.
3 blind mice.
Drinking.
Yeah.
I'm just realizing now, though, too, that remember those. I'm laughing because, like, this is not a normal situation. Those people that trolled me, remember, because they think I don't know you.
Oh,
So thank you,
yeah,
whoever
yeah,
those.
yeah, yeah,
Actually,
yeah,
thank
yeah.
you, whoever those people are, because I told Sam, I said that actually to know that the people that I don't know are sticking up for you too makes me happy because I was like, these people care about people that I care about.
Yeah.
Enough to, I think somebody told me, I had to look it up. They're like, I think they told me to eat grass or like
touch grass.
touch grass. And I was
Someone
like,
told you to touch grass.
yeah. And I was like, oh, they're telling me to die, like to like lay into the ground or grass or something like that. I didn't know what it was. And I was like, touch grass. Grass. I'm old. To me, grass is smoke. And so I think I did.
Is that what that means, to die?
No, it doesn't. It means, I think, to relax, like ground yourself, to like back off, bitch, kind of thing, or whatever. I know, right?
Yeah,
which I just think is funny because, I mean, I understand what this all is, but to me, as much as that is out there, you guys are pretty generally, well, maybe not her, but pretty generally quiet people and like keep to yourselves.
Yeah, totally.
You know, which is like a weird dynamic of like sharing all of this stuff.
Yeah.
But still knowing that you're still kind of private.
Yeah.
Your circle is small.
Yeah, it is. It's very small, and it's like pinpointed at like what we're gonna share. It's not just like everything everywhere all the time.
And the people we let into our lives in real lives is a very small circle. It's like I like to say all the times, like, I love a lot of people, but I like a few people, very few people. And that's just, you know, like you only have so much energy, and if you're going to spend energy on other people without just like spending it on ourselves, it's like there's this very small circle, as you said, in our lives.
I always say the company you keep.
Yeah, and that's like the interesting thing is just finding the balance too of like what we want to share and what we're an open book with certain things, but with other things we're like, we can keep that close to our heart.
Totally.
Yeah.
And I remember, I mean, going back to the beginning, if we're talking about that, I know I remember telling you both that you saved me at that time of, you know, because there was a lot of stuff going on at that point in my life, and you just made me laugh, which is what I needed in my life at that time. And then it obviously grew into, you know, other stuff and, you know, connecting on a much deeper level.
Yeah.
But it was just like, you guys just wanted to play.
Yeah.
You know?
Totally.
And it's, I mean, no matter how old we get, you still just want to play with kids in the sandbox.
Yep.
And that's like what I appreciate. And that is what has always been present.
It felt like we all saved each other. Like we all
1,000%.
met at the right time that brought us to a different place, because it was like, I was in a very like kind of weird.
Because we're a little wild, both of you.
We were wild,
Very wild.
That was a feral time.
It was a feral time. But I love that we've kept some of our traditions. Like, so there's always a point if we get stoned together, because I don't get stoned very often, but if I do get stoned, it's oftentimes when we're together. I'm not stoned now.
Neither am I.
But I will inevitably at one point turn to them and be like, I'm high.
As if we couldn't figure it out.
There's been times where we've just been sitting in the car, zoned out for like 2 straight hours with never figuring it. We actually today had a really good like movement of getting from one place to the next without it dragging on too long.
Yeah, we made pretty quick decisions.
Yeah. You tried to drag out the eating. Like, we resolved on the heavy-handed place.
Oh, yeah.
And then you were in the car like, well, what about a spanakopita?
I was just brainstorming
that Samantha's always looking for the better option in life.
Well, I think I'm just weighing out all the options in life.
You are. But even if there's a resolve, there's
But you were the best option in life.
Yes, that one you don't backtrack on.
And it usually takes us forever to decide on where we're going to eat. Not for no one's problem other than mine. They'll eat anywhere. I'm just the one who takes
You have
forever.
the opinions.
Yeah, where I get excited and I'm like, oh, I want to take
She
us to
likes
a
food.
I do like
Yeah.
food.
She doesn't want to waste a meal.
Yeah,
Like, there is nothing that will make Samantha regret more in her life than eating a meal that she didn't like and spending money on it.
yeah, and spending calories on it.
Yeah. I mean, I'll hear about it for 2 straight days afterwards. No, don't you regret eating that? Oh my God, we spent all that money and I just wasted our meal out this week.
It's true. I put value and thought into it. At least you know that I'm not reckless when it comes to that stuff.
You're very not reckless. You are very wise.
What are some of our wildest things that you remember from the beginning?
Like you too, just I don't your energy, I think. You told a lot of the stories you told me about when you were going to school in Arizona. Stuff from your youth that you would tell me about, like crazy ass stories
I know.
about the people you were hanging out with. Yeah, it was like it wasn't so much. I didn't think either of you were off the charts, but it was just you're very different than but you were also younger.
Right.
Right.
You know.
Right, that's true.
Is what it was.
Yeah.
It wasn't like I thought you were insane or I thought that you didn't have your shit together.
It's
Yeah.
also, I think that's the thing that brought the three of us together, is we always say in any show we've ever done, you're lucky if you even leave with
Yeah.
one person from that show. I rarely leave a show and I'm like, I have a life for
Yeah.
friend there. I mean,
Well, I mean, you two have definitely calmed down.
yeah.
I mean, that's mostly what I see, and that comes with this, And I've always said the maturity level. You can have a mature 7-year-old, but you cannot make up the years lived,
Right.
and so it's the experience of the years lived. I just think, I mean, I think also you're going through a time where you're searching for things.
Yeah.
I remember, I told them both that I watched the first because I don't always involve myself in this kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But I watched the first podcast and I really was touched because I told them both that it was the first chance that I had ever had to, I am a single person and I have a lot of married friends or a lot of friends that are in coupled situations and have often been either by myself or with other friends witness to those things, dinner parties, or you're just hanging out. And the dynamic of a married couple or a couple is often very different because they're on stage. They're
Right.
You've got that guest in front of it. I always think of that, George and Martha kind of thing. Where,
Yes.
they
Yeah.
invite the people over and there's this show that goes on. But what you don't often see is that show from outside because you're involved. You're having conversation with either one of them. And so, like I said, to watch that dynamic was, to me, I loved it.
Yeah.
Because you don't often get to see just my two friends talking to each other.
Yeah.
I love that.
Maybe we should do an episode when we're pissed off at each other.
Maybe.
That would be
Oh
good.
fuck! The camera's on. The
Mid-fight.
camera's on. Yeah, exactly.
This is how we
Throwing
solve a
things.
fight.
Exactly.
Really-
No, because I mean, the sort of things that I learned that you hadn't even shared before was and I know this because of stories you've told me and because of things you've told me about your childhood and growing up. But when you said, I never saw, a healthy version of what that could be like. To me, we have never talked about that.
Yeah.
You had never said that to me. And so, it's interesting to find out those things. So those things I've seen evolve.
Right.
I've seen you guys calm down.
Oh, yeah.
I've seen you become more focused on things. But I think that comes with age,
Yeah.
and experience and maturity and life experience. And, you eventually just settle in and.
And you've
Yeah.
also seen like the highs and lows of it all with Jacob and I. Like you've even seen like in the moments where we were trying to figure out our flow of communication.
Yeah.
You
Oh,
saw the
gosh.
walls
Those were crazy.
that we hit.
Yes.
And
I won't get
crazy.
into it, but you know that day you called, I was sitting on a boat in New Hampshire and we
Yeah.
had that conversation. And I rarely give advice, but I said, do not do that thing that you were thinking of doing. And now I understand. And at the time I understood, it comes from you cared about him and loved him, but it also came from other stuff that you've dealt with.
yeah.
And I think I've always said you have both been good for each other.
yeah,
In
exactly.
things that, in things that have affected you. And I think when you find a partner, that's what it is. That person balances out, they support you, they help, that you are no longer afraid of the what if.
Yeah,
Yeah.
You're no longer
exactly.
afraid of the what if
Yeah.
because you have, you know, you have what you want in front of you.
Yeah.
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 And it's such like an amazing place to be when two people with very different backgrounds can figure out how to meet in the middle and then like work and swing back and forth through one another's
Yeah.
communication
Yeah.
styles together. And it's like now it's like Jacob and we couldn't have better communication.
Right.
I can't even think, like, the thing I get mad at Jacob about, if I'm getting mad at him, is like, why didn't you remember I told you should scrub the food off of the dish before you put it in the dishwasher? Like, it's so like,
Giving orders from the sidelines.
Let's put a shoe on me.
Yes, giving orders. What I get mad at Jacob is when he doesn't take my orders.
Oh yeah, that's it now.
And Jacob gets mad at me when I leave my shoes all over the house.
Which is always.
I'm better because it's in our wedding vows.
Oh, it is.
Yeah, I've said I vow to always go to El Coyote with you and to always put my shoes away.
That's funny.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Should we do some confessions?
Yes. Do you have anything you want to confess with us to us?
You know, I think I wish I had more things I've not confessed. Is really what it is.
Keep more inside.
I wish I would sometimes. I think I told you this. I definitely think I said when recently, I have a fascination with people that talk to themselves because I don't really do that. And that woman said to me, she goes, "It's because you have it outside of your head, like you actually verbalize it."
Yeah.
Which I was like, my God, you just saved me so much in therapy and stuff.
But it's one of the things I love about you.
Well, it's one of the things some people don't love about me.
But I'm like, I need what you see is what you get.
What you see is what you get.
I don't like having to read between the lines or wonder how someone feels about me or if someone's being fake with me. You can feel if someone's fake with you, but when what you see is what you get with a person, it's the best thing ever because you then you just know them.
Yeah.
You know
No,
what you're
I thought about that. It was there like, did I steal something? I mean, I've told you some of the things that, I'm not particularly super jazzed about sharing with everyone, but I was like, no, I think it's the opposite, is that myself and maybe other people would prefer that I didn't say some things, that I didn't reveal some things that I've done,
But that's, I think, why the three of us also like mesh so well too, is because we say things that in front of each other that we may not say in front of. I mean, let's face it, we probably would say all the things that we say in front of each other in front of other people, unless we're like, oh no, can't say that in front of them.
Yeah. Yeah, but also too, that, I mean, that's one of, it's funny because I've known you now for what, nine years.
9 years.
It was the beginning, January of 2016.
Yeah.
So 9 years. And it's funny because I have friends that I've had for 30 years that don't know who you are.
Right.
But now I would consider you like my some of my closest friends.
Yeah.
Like that's the same as people I've known for 30 years.
1,000%.
And
it felt that way from the get-go.
Yeah, and to have that out here, I think is just a testament to being real people and being there and being no ulterior motives, nothing that
Also worth noting, Rudy lives in New York, so we don't get to see Rudy all the time. So the fact that we can be this close but so far away.
Well, we talk on the phone all the time.
We
I
do,
mean, sometimes
for
for 3
hours.
fucking hours a night. We'll talk on the phone.
And I'm like, it's 4 a.m. in New York right now.
I know.
How is he doing this?
Oftentimes you and I will lather, rinse, repeat
circle.
things, and I know he's in the back just going, they're talking about this again. But like Jacob and I love to talk about movies. Sam and I sometimes more like chit-chatty stuff about the business. She'll tell me things about people that I don't want to know about, and I'm always like, how do you know this stuff?
Oh my God.
And you know who we're talking about.
Yes, the gossip bench.
I was like, how does she know, Well, that's what also makes me laugh about this whole situation because, when people are like, oh, you're doing this for, like, you were the person I think in my life the most that was not a part of social media at all.
At all.
At
I
all.
deleted it
At
completely
all.
for many years.
It just was not.
Never.
So to think that that's something that you
That's
would,
my job now.
yeah.
That's what I
but
do.
also though, like to think that that was, it is, but it isn't. I mean, I know what you're doing, but it also is not the same as you, who's more social, who's more like into knowing
She
what
uses
everything
it
is
as
going
that,
on as a social thing.
Right.
Right.
You know,
Yeah.
as a way of keeping up with people and, doing
Yeah.
stuff like that.
That was my thing. I was like, it's almost like you can, when you don't use it in that way, you can operate outside of it and just be like, okay, I can put this up here and leave it
Yeah.
and forget about it and not care what they're saying or doing, because to me it's all a game.
Yeah.
And
Well, we've talked about this. The minute you walk away from it, it ceases to exist.
Yeah,
It literally
exactly.
doesn't exist once you put the phone down.
yeah,
It's not a real world.
Right.
Because it just doesn't exist unless you're engaged in it.
yeah,
Right.
yeah,
But also, I mean, I love it because I think and what I love the most though is people that say they hate it. And those are always the people that are most
that are on it all the time.
Oh,
on it all the
right.
time.
Yeah.
But
All
you
the time.
post
Oh, yeah.
all the best stuff, and if anyone who sends me stuff, you post the stuff that makes me laugh, and you find the weirdest shit
Because
that
it's
I'm like,
ridiculous. To
where
me,
do
it's
you
all
find this?
ridiculous.
I know.
love it because it is ridiculous.
I just
Yeah.
want to be on your algorithm because the stuff
No,
that
you
comes
don't.
your way
We can't
is
talk about some of
brilliant.
the
We
things.
can't
that
talk
come
about
my
some of the
way.
things, but then I'll find some things and I'll send it to you, and
Yeah.
I'm like, or something will come up, and I'm like, literally, will turn to Jacob and be like, I have to send this to Rudy
It's crazy. I love it. It's like an encyclopedia of nonsense.
Yeah.
And it's fun and it's funny and, just you do learn things and, you do connect with people.
Yeah.
So, and I understand why some people don't like it, but to me, it's like anything else. Choose the positive things that you can, engage in and take out of it.
Yeah.
I do
Yeah.
learn things.
right. And for the most part, I think
Such as what animals have the biggest dongs.
Right. Which, by the way,
Barnacle.
yeah, a barnacle has the. But then also that video you sent me said an armadillo
Oh,
has the biggest.
and showed it.
Yeah, and they showed it. It was massive.
Ugh.
And apparently
It's
the
all curled
barnacles
up.
is 8 times the size of its body.
Jesus.
Where
This
does
is the
it
part
go
where we
when it's-
this is a part where we
It
show everyone our
retracts.
dongs.
you know what we didn't talk about, because we always need to throw some pop culture in here. We didn't talk about the Coldplay CEO concert.
I'm confused about this.
You don't know what happened?
No.
Okay. So this is great. This is really great. So it's a Coldplay concert. And you know how they do the kiss cam?
Yes.
So they're doing the kiss cam of all the couples in the arena. And then they put a kiss cam in on this couple who's all like, this guy's behind the girl and they're all like cutesy together. And as soon as this happens, they're like, they see themselves on there and they're like, no. The girl turns away. The guy ducks. And it's the CEO, well, now he's resigned, CEO of some company, and the HR or something, the head of HR, and they're having an affair with one another. And so then Chris Martin from Coldplay is like, either they're really shy or having an affair. And it's been like this big news thing going on.
I had no idea that was going on.
Yeah.
But like now it's like become this pop culture thing where at every single sporting event or every event,
Oh,
they're now
yeah.
like, people are like recreating it as a joke.
Yeah.
And it's,
When did that happen?
Just earlier this week.
Oh,
yeah. But it's like been the
been
biggest thing
busy.
ever.
With things that you know of.
That wasn't that
That wasn't
exciting
on the
to
top
you.
of the list. No.
Well, my favorite thing is that there was this one meme that I saw, and it was like, here are all the heavy liners who it's like every summer a CEO has to go, and then it showed
that it?
it showed orcas in the middle of the water and capsizing a boat. And then it showed the Ocean Gate CEO. Then it showed
I did
Luigi.
see something about that, but I didn't know what it was.
Then no,
Yeah,
that's
okay.
the CEO of this company.
Okay.
But everyone's joking about how it's like Chris Martin who took
But
it
also,
down.
like, if you're gonna go cheat, like, can you think of a more public place to be?
Yeah, that's,
like didn't it used to happen, in seedy bars or in hotels off of the highway or something like that? If you're gonna cheat, then you don't take your date or your
to the
the
Coldplay.
person
We're
you're
just
fucking
like-
Because
to
he's a public figure. Like, people knew who he
also
was.
there's how many tens of thousands of people at a concert.
Right.
Right.
And a spinning kiss cam.
But
They're
we
idiots.
are
They're
we're
idiots.
not team cheating. We're like, just don't be with the person you're
Exactly.
with.
I have never
Why are you
understood.
cheating?
I've never understood cheating.
Yes.
And I technically did it once, but I remember laying in that bed and going, like I'm just about to be. I'm that person. Like either you, because I feel once you make that, you cross over into that, then forever you're a cheater.
Yeah.
And you have that choice to not do it. But I also feel like, I mean, this isn't what century are we in? Are you tied to that person? You know what I'm saying? Like, you're not. This isn't the old ages where you had to be married to that person or you had to be in that
Right.
relationship
You
with that
can
person.
get divorces.
If you don't want it, then get out of it.
Right.
Right.
Exactly. It's
Because the shitty thing to do is to cheat on the person that you're with.
Right. And break that
Yeah.
person's heart.
Somebody was remember that I was telling you that story about the girl that was in the swinger and the gangbang and
Yes,
all that
yes,
stuff.
yes.
There was a situation where I don't know if it was her or if it was a friend. I think it was her, where she followed the boyfriend to someplace, and this woman came up to the car and like knocked on the window and whatever, and was like, "I don't want any problems." And she's like, "Who are you?" "I'm his wife."
Oh my God.
Yeah,
Oh no.
Yeah,
Oh.
that's the thing. I mean, look, in some way, someone wrote a comment on one of our videos addressing this. They were like, at least like now it's blown up and like the trash has taken itself out.
Yeah.
But still, like, you feel badly because this family is completely fucked up now.
Yeah.
And it's just, why are you even in a relationship to begin with if you don't want to, if you have this tendency? I don't get it. I understand that. I don't think that you are a career cheater.
No, it happened once, and we were technically separated, but
Okay.
still,
Yeah.
I was like, I need to leave this apartment because if I continue on with this relationship, then I'm a cheater. But I also thought that her partner knew and didn't, and then he got pissed and he felt bad, and I was
okay.
like, yeah, because we had
So you were just the other
maybe
man.
this is
You're the
my
other
did I
woman.
just
This
did I
is your
just
confession.
reveal my confession?
There's
No,
You
it was a
weren't
really
cheating
fucked up
on
situation.
anyone, you were the other person.
I thought they were I was under the assumption that they were open, or just kind of living together, but they weren't really.
But that's on her too.
But then I was separated. My ex was in another place, and we were both in their bed, in Chinatown. And,
Oh my God.
And it was just like, I thought to myself, I remember looking up at the ceiling, just going, I can't do this anymore. Then found out later that her boyfriend knew, or didn't know. And
Right.
I had went to, I think his birthday party or something like that,
Oh,
and talked and like
no.
was really friendly and stuff because I thought they had an agreement going on.
Right.
So now I think from his point of view, that was a really fucked up thing.
Right.
And then to bring me in this like socialite, just hanging out, talking at the bar and all that shit, and it's me.
Got it.
yeah.
No.
Well, yeah. That's on her for not communicating that though, too, to
A
you.
little.
Mm-hmm.
Well, how long ago was this?
Oh, like 48 years ago.
Time
You
goes
little
by.
rascals.
Back when I did things like that. Back when I was in the game. Yeah. A whole other a lifetime that you guys have no knowledge of.
Yeah.
Which is
Yeah.
weird because I think, I met you at a time where like I had not been performing. Like I was so different from the life that I have now.
Yeah.
You know,
Right.
that how you guys know me now.
Yeah.
And had no idea that I had this, that was after the show, the TV show, after that whole phase of my life.
Yeah.
There's
Yeah.
all different versions of us.
I know. I'm
I
just
just want
running
to also
from the
just
law.
plug Rudy's ability
Come on.
to make
Right.
beautiful artistic cakes. We're not just talking about like, oh, he can make some cakes. Like Rudy is like, which artist would you say?
Banksy.
Who's
Banksy.
No, who's the one that just threw shit on the wall?
Jackson
yeah,
Pollock?
Jackson Pollock.
Pollock.
I just throw shit everywhere. The kitchen is just full of flour and eggs on the wall, and I'm angry and tortured and just splotches of shit everywhere. Yeah, Jackson Pollock.
This will show him.
Exactly.
I
Or
thought
who's the
about
other one that
Jackson
just
Pollock, but I think yours is a little
Smear.
palette of red.
Oh,
Rothko.
Rothko. You are the Rothko.
Rothko
You're
of
definitely
cakes.
Rothko.
I still love the witches though you made, Delphine, and what was the other one?
Oh yeah.
Something with an aunt, Margot, Mary, something. I don't know. The
Maud?
Sisters, something
The
like
Sisters.
that. Yeah, the sisters.
They come up every Halloween. It's great. Okay, should we go into confession land?
User confessions.
User confessions. Bum, ba, da,
I feel
ba.
like some of these are affair related.
Have you read
Oh.
these?
I don't know if I've read these.
No, you haven't read these
No, because
ones.
How many of these have come in? People want to confess.
A ton.
Many of them have come in. Yeah, we've weeded through.
Well, they'd rather do that than to a priest
right, exactly. They'd rather
these
have me
days.
put on
It's
blast.
Sorry, all you followers of the Catholic Church.
We like to think of we like our own.
You're
Catholic
Are you
Church.
interfaith? This is like an
This is an
interfaith type of
interfaith. Yeah, this
podcast.
Is all faiths are,
Faiths
are welcome.
like the Unitarians.
Yeah, exactly.
Mhm.
This is
Okay, I'm gonna, because I want you guys to read certain ones. I think they'll be better out of your mouth. I'll do this one.
Also, I have to thank you guys for this hat that I'm wearing.
Yeah.
It's not mine.
Well, this hat was brought to you by Jacob's stepdad, and so
It
my
was a Christmas gift.
it was a
Nice.
Christmas
He
gift
found
for
it on the
me
side of the road.
in
Some
Pahrump,
lady had made it.
Nevada, and it's amazing. Okay. My mother-in-law was really horrible to me. I was a new mom full of insecurities, and she tried to steamroll me. I had no power in my own home and no support from my then husband, who thought she was perfect and could do no wrong. So, full of resentment, frustration, and hurt, I made dinner for her. She was a vegetarian, and instead of using vegetable broth, I used beef broth.
Oh my god.
Not my proudest moment, but in my defense, it was the one time she raved about my cooking.
It's brilliant.
This is so pure and sweet.
I feel two things though. Number one, the first thing that hits me is what kind of mother-in-law is jealous of their son's wife or is like
I
wants to
know.
get in the middle of their son's
Yeah.
Because first of all, what are you going to do? Marry your son? Do you have
Right.
some kind of a weird fucked up like
Oedipus thing.
yes,
Yeah.
obsession with your son? Let your son love who they want, marry who they want, and step aside. Get it the fuck out of the way.
Yeah, I mean the baton
And now
from
this person
mother
was
to
nice.
wife.
If that's all they did was gave them beef broth.
I know.
You're a saint, whoever said this.
Right. I know. So sweet.
But also, I feel like a lot of vegetarians like meat.
They do.
You know, I
Yeah,
remember
they
one
just
time when I was
choose-
working at a restaurant. I know I've told you guys this, and they ordered this table of 4 women ordered 2 appetizers. One was a beef dumpling, one was vegetarian dumplings. Person comes to the table, it wasn't me. Runner brings the food to the table. They announce what it is. These are the beef dumplings. They're chatting, they don't pay attention, whatever. But also, too, as a vegetarian, double check. If you have a nut allergy, double check. You're a
Yeah.
grown adult, double
Yeah.
check.
Right.
The women ate it. I came over to the table to check on how things were. I said, you know, those are the beef dumplings. One of the ladies was very upset. One of them was not so, you know. And the one said, well, but they tasted so good. And I said, of course they did, because they're meat.
Right.
Sorry to the vegetarians. I was a vegetarian. I was a vegan. I was a raw person.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But there's always vegetarians have that story where they're like, I did it for 8 years and then one day I just said fuck it and got a hamburger and they never go back.
Yeah.
It's like,
And also it might cause her some stomach
yeah,
discomfort,
totally.
but clearly it didn't if she
Raw.
loved them.
Yeah.
I think
She
a lot
raved
of
about the
times
food.
these days people are vegetarians more so because they think it's the healthier thing to do for their bodies. You know, you have the ones who are doing it for health reasons. They think that it's like
Or
better for
religious
them.
reasons,
Yeah.
you
Or
know, there are a
religious.
number of reasons why people choose it.
Yeah.
But then
Which
you
you
have,
have
the
to
people who are
respect.
doing it for the animals, and
Yes.
I can understand that. But some of these people still wear leather, so I'm like,
I know. Pick and choose.
pick and choose.
Yeah. Well,
Do you really feel this person needs to be absolved?
I don't think this person needs to be absolved.
I think they only need to say.
I think the mother-in-law
two-
needs to be
They
absolved.
need to say 2 Hail Jacob and Samantha's. That's enough.
That's kind of funny.
Yeah.
It is. This is really a pure thing. I mean, remember, I gave someone chocolate X-Lax and said it was South African chocolate, but she was a bully.
That's much worse.
And then I wasn't allowed
Yes,
to
trying to
audition for
cause
Little Shop of
diarrhea
Horrors.
Yeah.
is different than possibly causing some stomach discomfort.
Well, I was
Right.
I was punished. I was then not allowed to audition for Little Shop of Horrors, which was punishment enough. So
Who found out?
She started blabbing.
I'm shocked.
She couldn't keep it in.
Telling
She was
everyone.
like the telltale heart for Edgar Allan Poe. She heard the shitting in the bathroom in her head and had to get it out. It was me.
Okay, what do I want? Okay, which one should you be reading?
I kind of love these.
I know, I do
This is
too.
the best part.
This
Have you
one's
gotten one
really-
that you can't say because it's actually really bad? Have any of them been
I
criminal?
don't think so.
Well, the fish
Some-
one, I mean, that's some trespassing, and you've hired somebody, right, to dump the fish down the.
Oh, down the chimney. Yeah, that was technically criminal.
That was criminal.
But funny.
Yeah.
Okay, this one's a long one,
Mhm.
but I want you to read it. So it starts here and then it goes.
Me?
Yeah.
Okay.
Do you have your glasses?
Me too. My bifocals. Confession. Before I had kids, I was dating this guy that had 3 boys. The older 2 boys loved me, and the youngest, 9 years old, hated me because he wanted his dad to himself. Anyway, I kept noticing weird things like a small cut in all my dresses, dog shit smeared on the designer handbag, small scratches over my face in any pictures, and my foundation poured out on the floor. The dad thought I was crazy for ever accusing his precious Satan child of doing such things. The kicker was in one of my Yerman earrings was gone. There was no way it just disappeared. I took the little shit to the pool and sweet-talked him until he confessed. He said he threw it in the dumpster. So he told his dad, and they bought me some cheap-ass earrings from Dillard's, like that was a replacement. So this kid had a football signed by Peyton Manning. I took the football and let my 2 Jack Russells play and destroy it as I recorded it and sent it to the kid. I'm a horrible person.
You are not a horrible person.
Wait, there's
Also,
more.
I'm
There's
ki-
more.
oh,
The
I'm
dad
also-
and I obviously stopped dating. I should have kept the damn football and sold it. Please, God, don't say my name if you share this on social media.
Oh, they share their name?
Well, they DM us.
Oh, that's
Oh, I
funny.
can see- well,
First
it's
of
not
all,
even
though,
really a
that's
name.
kind of props to that 9-year-old. Like
I
that's
know.
like
That's
kind of some
ballsy.
yeah, cutting holes.
Right.
In the dress.
But like, why is he being such a shit to her?
Who knows? But also, that kid, it sounds like he
He had to
Yeah,
come,
some
and also
trouble.
you can't just
He had
like
to
get
come
rid of a
in.
David
Yeah.
Yurman earring and think you're going to replace it with a Dillard's crystal.
No.
No.
Mm-mm.
A David I would be pissed too. But also
I
like,
like how you're looking at me like I know what that is.
a David Yurman earring. Oh, it's like a classic. I have a David Yurman ring. I got it for
I don't know what
my
that is.
for my college graduation.
But I think that this is kind of tit for tat. Like you fuck with my shit, I'm
Yeah.
gonna fuck up your.
I
little
wonder. I'm
football.
interested to wonder if the kid actually respected her after that.
Maybe
You know what
It's
I'm
like
saying?
I'm done doing anything now.
Yeah,
Right.
Sometimes you got to show them.
these aren't that bad.
No, these
They're
really
not
aren't.
that
I
bad.
think you're definitely absolved of your sin.
You're
for this.
absolved of
horrible-
your sins. Now you
Wait, is she
little
still-
shit of a
I
kid.
know.
Okay, this is the one that I wanted you to read.
I genuinely don't know how to talk dirty. Once again, I'm fixated on the name, which I will not say. I genuinely don't know how to talk dirty. Once a guy asked me to, and I panicked, like full freeze mode. My brain short-circuited, and instead of saying something sexy, I slapped him and called him a peasant. He laughed so hard, we never even finished. So yeah, if anyone's offering dirty talk classes, sign me up before I ruin more sex lives.
Peasant.
I love it. I love it. It's so sweet. Gosh.
Peasant can be dirty.
You little
You
peasant.
peasant.
Yeah, it's a role.
I'm the
She
queen.
should have peed on him.
That's it, really.
It's a role-playing situation. I knew that I knew you needed to read that one.
I know why you chose me to read that one.
Yeah.
But then, of course, my whatever caused me to focus on the name.
And then you're just saying, don't say it. Don't say it. Yeah.
I know.
No, I mean,
Your
I don't
secret's
know.
safe with me.
Dirty
Marilyn.
talk is a little extra. Like, do you need all that?
I mean, to me, like it's kind of ridiculous.
It is. Like
That would pull me out of the moment.
We're very mild. We're very old-fashioned, and we are just
I'd rather be laughing. I think that
I
peasant
think
would
the
make me laugh.
laughter
Yeah, the laughter. If someone
should've made
slapped
it
me and
better.
called me peasant during sex, I think it would be fantastic. Instead of something quote unquote dirty.
Right.
Yeah. I actually think that sounds like he found the right gal.
I know.
To be honest, he threw a challenge at you. You're like, okay, you a peasant.
Did he ask for dirty
You
talk?
filthy peasant.
Or did she just think
Yes.
that? Oh,
Yeah, he asked for it,
Oh,
and
okay.
she was like, okay, peasant. Yeah. So good props to you for thinking quickly on your feet.
Yes.
Good improv skills, but I agree. We're not really into the dirty talk. We're
And
just...
Marilyn sounds like she would be fun in bed. That's not her real name.
It's not her real name.
I like that pen
It's
name,
not,
though.
but I like it.
Mhm.
Should we do a few more?
Yes.
I was dating a guy that was dating another girl. He killed her and now is in jail in California.
Are you kidding me?
That's it?
That's it.
That's it. Well, that answers my question about criminal
Yeah,
activity.
that's definitely.
You are not absolved. Wait.
No. Well, she didn't even do anything.
Yeah.
I'm going to say that this is like a Ted Bundy situation where you missed, you did a good job by getting yourself out of that
Yeah.
one. Like,
He kind of got
I was
himself
dating a
out.
guy that was dating another girl.
He
This
killed
might be too dark. Will we have to cut this one?
Yeah, whatever. Leave it in.
I don't absolve him of his sins.
No. You didn't know. We were just with this freakazoid.
Okay. This one is a two-parter. So I'm wondering. Okay, I'll just go for it.
2 confessions. I hooked up with a guy in a pastor's office. It was not the pastor. And also, just because I can't say it enough, but I can't say it to my husband, my mother-in-law is complete trash. So immature. So needy, so gross. I don't keep many items she gives the kids because I hate reminders she exists. A lot of mother-in-law hate today here.
know, what is
folks,
that?
That is a weird sort of thing. What is that sort of friction
I don't
between
get it.
people?
My sister did have one mother-in-law that was questionable, but her other one, I love her.
Yeah.
Her
I think
current
there's like
mother-in-law.
this
Really?
thing with some mothers where they don't want to have to hand the baton off to being like the leading lady in their son's life, where it's
But, like, what woman wants their son to make them the leading lady of their life?
Right.
That's my initial.
where
That's my
something's
question.
Missing in
Right,
there.
Like,
exactly.
that to me, that's weird.
Or
Yeah.
like it's weird that like then like their son then like goes to their wife for advice that maybe they once went to them for.
Isn't that what you're raising them to?
Exactly.
Right.
But also, I mean, I get unless these daughters-in-law are the issue, and I get that. I get like wanting. I think we've all known people that you're like, I don't think they're in the best relationship, but I'm gonna keep my mouth shut.
Right.
But like you're looking out for that person just because
Right.
you think that, I can understand that as a mother, whatever child, female or male, or non-binary, you want the best for that person. And if that person is not, I could see you kind of interfering or wanting to interfere.
Right.
But like
Right.
taking the
It's a
attention away
normal.
from me,
Yeah.
the
No, I think
queen.
that's a.
Yeah, that's a
Or
little
there's a
weird.
lot of like mothers-in-laws who want to like offer opinions that like feel, I'm lucky. I got a great mother-in-law. But
Me too.
yeah, we lucked out in the
got great.
mother-in-law
But
department.
I also think sometimes there's that thing where they say that boys marry their mother or they marry somebody similar. And then I think
I
sometimes
hate them
there's
so much.
yeah, there's a friction between two people with similar. There's sometimes that top
could be
dog
true.
friction that goes on with people where they're like,
Yeah, and I also think there are a lot of shitty mothers-in-laws out there, but there are a lot of shitty daughters-in-laws out.
right,
Daughters,
and that might be the
in-laws.
might be the mother being like not good enough for my son type of thing, like you were saying. It's like,
But I mean, ultimately, that's not their choice. I get it. I get where that comes from. But you can't, and even if they're making a mistake, that's their mistake to make.
right. It must just be so weird. Like once you have this child, you raise it, it's completely dependent on you for 2 decades, and then all of a sudden it's just like off and it's gone, and it's like you get put on the back burner, and all your priorities have been shifted to that person for so long that it must be weird as a parent to like navigate the adult relationship with your child, unless you just have a truly like unless you just realize like it has to be a friendship, or it has to be pretty.
Well, it's funny because even, the job I have has often required me to pretend to be a parent. And although I don't have kids, I still feel those emotions. And so, like, I think one of the hardest things might be to see your child, to make that transition into them being an adult and you having to let go and actually have to accept them as an adult and have to see them go on and move on and grow older.
Right.
That's got to be a challenge, I think, to
Yeah.
a lot of parents, like, feeding into what you just said about that.
Yeah. Because you have this idea when you see them as a baby or something, oh, they're going to be next president or something. And then you see them and maybe they're making some of the mistakes you made at that time, or they're making choices you would like, are like, what are you doing? And yeah.
I mean, I think that's it. A lot of that stuff comes down to most relationship stuff, which is control.
Yeah.
The need to control the situation, to control things, to make it acceptable to you, to have control of your own life, to just have that, because you have this picture of this perfect scenario.
Yeah.
And someone comes in and doesn't feed in with your version of that.
Right.
That's where I think a lot of the chaos in life comes into play.
Absolutely.
You can't change people. You can't make them be something they're not. Just, you have to accept it. But
yeah,
I think that I mean, I've thought about that as a parent, what they must go through when you have to let your child go, so to speak.
But you don't hear as many like father-in-laws and son-in-law
really.
drama. I think it's because women are more emotional and more opinionated and wear their hearts on their sleeves in a different way.
In a different way, yeah.
And
I don't know if they're
also,
more,
we're
but
all
yeah.
right.
Listen, a lot of times when sons end up finding their person anyway, the mothers-in-laws, it happens to meet at the set time in their lives where they're all going through menopause and stuff like that.
God.
So you're like dealing with like a lot going on sometimes.
Yes.
And women are in general by default more hormonal, moody, roller coastery, and it's like you do have to in some ways kind of learn how to have relationship, like especially when you're like marrying someone and you're merging families. You need to like really get to know. There's like an eagerness at first to please, but then it gets to a place where you also want to be able to feel like you can fully be yourself too. So I think there's a little of like it really requires two people who allow the other person to be who they are and love each other and accept who they are, and trust that you've raised someone, as you said, whose judgment is so good that they would never choose someone for themselves who isn't the example that they're.
Yeah. Well, we also don't have class. There's no classes in how to be a mother-in-law. There's no classes in how to be a husband or a wife or
Yeah.
a sister or a brother. I think it's just it has to do with however you navigate your relationships in life, anyways.
Yeah.
And if you've gotten to a point where your child is married someone and you haven't, maybe don't have strong, ways to navigate your interpersonal relationships in life already, then that's just going to be one more thing that's problematic because, there are probably plenty of mother-in-laws that do love, they love the thought of
Yeah,
having,
exactly.
an addition to the family.
Yeah.
So I think it's just that maybe it doesn't have to do with being a mother-in-law. It just has to do with
Being a
how you
weirdo.
function being a weirdo, and how you function in your relationships anyways. That's
Yeah.
just one more version of a relationship.
Exactly. But I think also the daughter-in-law's responsibility and the wife's responsibility too is to also accept that yes, you in a marriage your husband tells you everything and there's no secrets there.
Mhm.
But also your husband's mother is also the person that he went to before you were even in the picture.
Exactly.
So you have to also accept that that relationship is going to like he can tell those same secrets that he would tell you to her. Maybe not all of them, but there's a lot
Yeah.
that he's going to go to for her, and it doesn't mean he's going to her first.
Yeah.
It's just it's the other person who's guided him his whole life and stuff like
100%.
that.
It's so
So
funny.
the daughter-in-law needs to also be on board. But sometimes there's shitty daughter-in-laws and shitty mother-in-laws.
They're shitty people. I mean, I always when I find somebody who I think is a stellar human, I oftentimes, especially if it's a younger person, I will immediately think that in my mind they have a good family relationship. There's
Yeah.
like your parents raised you. I know a few specific situations in my life where I've asked them what their relationships are like with their parents,
Mhm.
and they're like they're great, and I'm just
Yeah.
like that's
why.
why.
Yeah.
You could
That's
tell.
why.
Do you have
Wow.
another one?
I do have another one.
Ooh, okay. A confession I have that I need to get off my chest is I'm married and have been for 14 years. I recently, in February, oh, here we go, had an affair, and my husband found out about it, and we started working on a relationship. But truth be told, I'm only sticking around in this marriage until I am financially stable enough to leave, and then I plan to go and pursue the relationship with my lover.
Why
I
stick
get
around
it.
this?
The
I mean,
financial reason?
That's why a lot of people get married.
Right.
But also,
Right.
too, I think, sort of historically, women have been stuck in sometimes relationships because of financial situations. I don't know if we talked about this. My sister is adamant about my niece being financially secure so that she's
Right.
never in a situation where she can't get out of the situation
Yeah.
because of finances.
Yeah.
I don't know, but you have to. I mean, I think that there's some Hail Marys that need to take
Yeah,
place
there's
there.
a few here you need
But
to
I get
say.
it.
But
I
also,
understand.
I'm worried about your future with your lover because
Yeah, why aren't they
shouldn't-
financially secure?
Yeah, why is your exactly
that's
like?
I'm
don't
hoping
you-
you're going up. What is it called? Up, leveling
Yeah,
up.
level up
Yeah,
in
you should be
life.
Level up.
leveling
Level
up.
Don't go for the broke art, the painter or something
No,
right now.
exactly.
Again, we're not advocates for cheating and affairs. We actually think that they probably just create more unhappiness and chaos. Not probably, they do. And I think if your reason for staying in your current marriage is because you want to be financially secure, it's a double whammy of you're being fucked up in the sense that you're taking the resources from this guy that
Or
you're also cheating
maybe
on.
she's just in a situation where she's like,
Maybe he's a bad guy though.
I've got to save up enough. I'm just going to stay in this long enough where I can save up enough to get out.
Right.
I mean, unless she's Tina Turner or
Right.
Cher, who left with nothing, but they're like clothes. You know what I'm saying? Like some people don't have that, luxury
I
of
know
just
there's a
like
lot of
walking out the
fear.
door.
Yeah.
And I'm not joking because there are a lot of women that and maybe men too that have needed to get out of relationships for whatever reason,
But are broke.
Yeah,
I know.
that are-
And I'm not
that are
like,
broke.
it's not coming from a place of judgment. It's coming from a place of,
Well, I
if
think
you
we
are
all
unhappy,
said that the cheating aspect of it is no. That
Right.
is that is.
And it's like I just heard Kevin O'Leary say this on a podcast that the most important financial decision you make in your life is who you marry, and that those people can ruin you or can make you, and that divorce is very expensive. The whole process of it is going to be expensive. So it is, he was saying at the end of the day, it is for love and all these things, but it is a financial contract.
It is. It's like a business.
Yeah, and it sounds so like yucky when you say it that way, but it is kind of the reality of it, because you're creating a bond financially to say we can support ourselves, and if we have a child or whatever, and it's
Yeah, and like you also, if you are in a situation where you feel like you can't get out of it because of finances, a I do I do think everyone, there is a way, there are resources there. It's hard. It's not going to be an easy situation, especially people who are in, like, God forbid, an abusive situation. I mean, like, you really, like, that's scary because you're wondering, there's so much going on there. The thing that continues to cross my mind in this confession is, why is the lover not helping financially in some way? I'm concerned about what your life with your lover will be once you get out of your relationship. Now, will there be
Maybe he's a
security there?
college student. Or maybe it's a she.
Maybe.
Maybe she's an 18-year-old
Either way,
feminist.
do you want to get out once you've saved up enough? Do you want to get out and get into a situation which might not be a financially secure situation?
or maybe she's like, okay, and now I'm financially tied to this person. In the next relationship, I don't want to be. I want to be financially independent.
Maybe.
She doesn't
You're
want to
right.
rely
I see.
on the lover.
Right.
Because, she's
Yeah.
in a situation now where she feels stuck.
Yeah. Well, in order to absolve yourself, you have to say 30 Hail Jacob and Samantha's.
And also get a second job.
Get a second job.
Or a job.
Yep.
And then jump up and down on one foot and spin around
do
3
the hokey
times and
pokey.
do the hokey pokey.
Nude.
That's what it's all. Nude.
Wow. Well, thank you all for
tuning in.
and for the lovely confessions. Please keep them coming.
Yes.
Thank you to Rudy for agreeing to this and not running out the door when I
It
set
was-
things up.
It was pretty close.
I know.
So,
I know.
but
This
I love
is
you
a
too,
real one.
and I support this.
Thank you. And
We
we
love
love you,
you.
and we want to.
We hope you'll be back here one day.
We'll see. You mean in the state or in your apartment?
On our couch and Brutally Honest
It's a
with
very
Sam and Jake.
comfortable couch.
Isn't it great?
It's hard to get off of.
I'm not leaving tonight.
That's fine.
Mhm.
It's the best couch ever.
It's a really good couch.
Brutally Honest with Sam and Jacob. Rudy came today. By the way, the bottom of
That
our
sounds
feet.
weird. Right?
If you're wondering why the bottom of
Don't tell my secrets. Why do you think the pillow is covering my nether
your
regions?
they're probably wondering why our feet are so dirty. It's because
They maybe didn't notice till
Yeah.
now.
okay, well, we walked in flip
we
flops
dragged her.
in Venice.
Dragged her on the
Venice!
sidewalk.
Venice. If you've never been to Los Angeles before and you're like, oh, I'm on a trip to LA, I don't know that
Go to
I can
Malibu instead.
Go to
Yeah,
Malibu.
Malibu's
Venice.
great. It's spacious.
Venice Boardwalk is not what Venice and Hollywood you can skip.
Yeah, skip it.